We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Hezbollah attacked via pagers. The Biden-Harris administration stonewalls the investigation into the Trump assassination attempts. Foreign threats increase, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. At least 9 people were killed and thousands of others were injured when handheld pagers exploded across Lebanon on Tuesday in an apparent targeting of Hezbollah members, according to Hezbollah officials. Lebanon's state-run national news agency initially reported that the handheld pager system was detonated using advanced technology, and dozens of injuries were reported in Beirut's southern suburbs and other areas. Lebanon's health minister later said that at least 9 people were killed and 2,750 people were wounded, 200 of them critically. Among those injured when the pagers exploded included Iran's ambassador in Lebanon, according to Iranian state media. A security source in Lebanon told Reuters that the pagers were carried by members of Hezbollah. A Hezbollah official, speaking to the outlet on condition of anonymity, described the incident as a detonation that was the biggest security breach during the nearly year-long war with Israel. The pagers had been intercepted in transit and explosive devices placed inside them. They were triggered by a page mimicking a Hezbollah leader. A top Senate Democrat blasted the Biden-Harris administration for stonewalling in response to requests for information on the assassination attempts of former President Trump and the potential failure of the U.S. Secret Service. Senator Richard Blumenthal, the Democrat from Connecticut and chairman of the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations within the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, said the Department of Homeland Security was almost derelict in its duty by resisting our requests for documents, evidence, and information that are necessary to investigate. The Democrat reiterated his disappointment in the department and added that he has become angry that DHS has not been more forthcoming. The Democrat foreshadowed potential subpoenas being used in the future, telling reporters on Monday, "We may need to require more cooperation from them, and we have the power to do so through the compulsory process." In other words, the subpoena power. A recently released report of the Commission on the National Defense Strategy found that World War III is becoming more likely in the near term, and the U.S. is too weak either to prevent it or, should war come, to be confident of victory. The bipartisan report details a devastating picture of political failure, strategic inadequacies, and growing American weakness in a time of rapidly increasing danger. The report states that the U.S. faces the most serious and most challenging threats since 1945, including the real risk of near-term major war. The report warns the nation was last prepared for such a fight during the Cold War, which ended 35 years ago. It is not prepared today. Top Russian security official Sergei Shoigu landed in Iran on Tuesday for talks with his counterpart just one day after reports surfaced suggesting that the U.S. and the U.K. are increasingly concerned over an alleged nuclear deal between Tehran and Moscow. Details of Shoigu's meeting in Iran remain scarce, but U.S. officials have increasingly begun sounding the alarm that the burgeoning relationship between Iran and Russia amid the war in Ukraine may have reached concerning new levels. Secretary of State Antony Blinken first referenced these concerns last week during a visit to the UK, where he confirmed reports that Iran had supplied Russia with short-range ballistic missiles to aid its continued war effort against Kiev. The Federal Reserve is expected to announce a cut in interest rates today after a two-day meeting. The only real question is, how big will Fed Chair Jerome Powell go? Will he stick to the traditional quarter-point adjustment or stretch it to half a percentage point? Either way, the move will mark the end of an economic era, as this will be the first interest rate cut since March 2020. According to an unsealed federal indictment, Sean Diddy Combs is accused of running a criminal enterprise that engaged in racketeering, sex trafficking, sexual violence, kidnapping, bribery, and other charges. The music mogul was arrested Monday in Manhattan, about 6 months after Homeland Security agents raided his Miami and Los Angeles homes as part of a human trafficking investigation. The indictment alleges Diddy violently coerced women to engage in sex acts called freak-offs that were then recorded and used as collateral. Combs' lawyer said he is innocent and will plead not guilty. After he pled not guilty, bail for Combs was denied. NASA is monitoring a massive asteroid that came close to Earth on Tuesday night. The rocky object, which has been named 2024 ON, has a diameter of 950 feet, according to NASA's Asteroid Watch dashboard. NASA has deemed the asteroid stadium-sized and reported it was 621,000 miles from Earth on Tuesday night, which is considered relatively close. Although the asteroid was close enough to Earth to be deemed a potentially hazardous object, there was no direct effect on Earth. The asteroid is one of 5 that will pass by Earth over the next 2 days, but the other rocky objects will not come nearly as close as 2024 ON. The 4 asteroids will be between 1.1 to 3.9 million feet away from Earth, and 3 of the asteroids measure roughly 51 feet in diameter, which is the size of a house. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.